Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rewers, and on my channel I make book videos, and I'm also on the women's basketball team here at the University of Hawai'i. So I do a little bit of videos involving basketball here and there, but I mostly do book videos. Today's video specifically is a book video, and if you guys have not seen already, I recently posted that I got a Kindle during Amazon Prime. I decided for a fun little video to film me reading the books that are on my TBR on my Kindle for a week. I already have the 3 books picked out because my main goal that I've recently decided is to try and finish my physical TBR by the time I move off the island, because I'm going into my senior year here at the university and I need to pack those up at some point. I thought it'd be a fun way to get the chance to use my Kindle for the first time while also reading the books on my physical TBR. So the 3 books that I have decided to read for this video: Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a fun cowboy romance. This is the first book in the Chestnut Spring series, and recently saw Twisters, and this I knew for a fact was the first book that I wanted to read. I just wanted to figure out a way to incorporate it into a video. So the first book I will be reading is Flawless by Elsie Silver. The second book I will be reading The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is another fun rom-com-y book, little enemies to lovers, forced proximity. And then the final book is Twisted Games by Anna Wong. I feel like this one out of these 2 is the most random, just because I have the Twisted series and I read Twisted Love last year, I think, and I really didn't like it, but I've seen so many things about this on Book Talk and TikTok just in general about it being one of the best books in the series. I want to mention too that my decision in picking these books is also based off of what was offered on Kindle Unlimited, because I really wanted to use my Kindle, but I also, like I said, wanted to check books off my TBR. So I went through my bookshelf and I found some books that are offered on Kindle Unlimited that I could read. At the end of this video, I will also share my thoughts about using my Kindle for the first time, and if I like it and if I don't, or just any thoughts and opinions on it while reading these books digitally instead of physically. So yeah, I am very excited to read these books on my Kindle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's just get started. Hello you guys. So for the first book of this video, I am going to be reading Flawless. I have the paperback version of this book, so I am going to be reading most of it on my Kindle, obviously, because that's what this video is. I said I would be reading on my Kindle for a week, and this is going to be the first book that I read on my new Kindle. I just got it, and if you want to see me set this up, I have a video uploaded on my channel if you're interested. I have a physical copy of this book. I also have a pen ready just in case I need to annotate or underline anything. I'm a big annotator and tabbing person. I'm just gonna keep this nearby just in case I want to do it in real time. I am so excited to read this book. My friends and I recently saw Twisters earlier this week, and when I tell you, that made me want to read a cowboy small town romance so bad. So this book follows Rhett and Summer, and Rhett is a professional bull rider. He is the golden boy, very loved. He ends up getting into an altercation or a public brawl that makes his agent decide that he needs supervision to help clean up his image, and the person that's gonna help supervise him is the agent's daughter, Summer, and Rhett is very against this. He does not think he needs a babysitter, and so Summer is going to watch over Rhett and just try and help him. I want to say it's like enemies to lovers. It's giving enemies to lovers. I don't know. It seems like he falls first, but she like sees the better parts of him. He's definitely giving like bad boy type of vibe. I don't know. The way it's like describing how Rhett is viewing Summer is insane. I'm gonna start reading. I'm very excited. I'm also going to find a book playlist, and I guess we can do that together. I'm so excited to read this, you guys. Twisters put me in such a country mood. I cannot describe how excited I am. Okay, so the one playlist I found is called Flawless, Summer, and Rhett. I will put a little screenshot on the screen. I usually just go for the ones that have the most likes, but I also scroll through the songs to see if there's songs that I like and are familiar with. I'm gonna start reading, and I will update you guys. So it is currently 12:45. I read for about an hour and 45 minutes. I made it to chapter 10. I'm on page 107, 25% through the book. There's 412 pages in this book, which I feel like I'm just reading it so quick and I love that. But this is how far I am right now in the book. I'm loving it. It's actually really fun. Sometimes I feel like Rhett, I don't know how to describe it. Like he's just like a little cringy sometimes in the stuff he does, but I get it because it's just his character and his personality. But I love him. I'm waiting for the sparks to start flying between the two of them. So far we're just getting a lot of, I guess, character development and learning the world and the Chestnut Springs and the town that we're in and all the brothers and the dad. I love all of them very much. I want to hear more about like the bull riding and the competition, seeing Rhett in that aspect of it. So I'm just really excited to keep reading this. But I am going to go to bed because it is pretty late. But overall, I'm really enjoying it and I've gotten pretty far in the book. So hopefully I can get this done pretty soon. The playlist is also so good. I'm not one to listen to country music really ever. I think the closest I will get to country is Casey Musgraves or Noah Kahan, and I would even call Noah Kahan country. He's more like pop indie. Anyways, the playlist is so good. This book just makes me really happy and I'm really enjoying it. So that's my update and I will see you guys some point tomorrow when I start reading. Hi guys, I wanted to give an update. So I'm currently on page 212, 51% through the book, so I'm halfway through the book. I am reading this so fast and I think it's because I'm on the Kindle. So far so good. The romance I wouldn't say has picked up as much. There's definitely those moments where there's that tension. They're close to crossing that line, but then they always stop before it gets like unprofessional, especially for Summer, because I don't know, we have this push and pull right now between them. He did, I think, 2 rodeos so far and they're actually really fun. I love reading about that. I think we're getting little more hints here and there about each character, about Summer and Rhett, and learning more about them and how their outer shells that they portray to other people is not really what's hidden inside. So, and they're both recognizing that within each other, and I love that. As the book gets going, I know it's gonna get much better. Hopefully I can get further in tonight, but I will update you guys later in the book, or maybe when I'm done. If something crazy happens, I'll update you guys. But I'm loving reading on the Kindle, and highlighting's fun. I love like putting comments on it and adding notes, so I don't really see a difference compared to reading a physical book. I mean, obviously holding a physical book, but having the Kindle is just so much more convenient and you can like lay more comfortably. If you're wondering where my Kindle's at, I had to put it right there. This is the first time I've had to actually, I'm like stunned right now. I had to put my Kindle aside for a moment because I got to a part of the book, and if you've read this book you probably know, but it escalated very quickly, and the things that Rhett says, no book could have prepared me for what came out of that man's mouth. Just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I had never been like gobsmacked like that. I think it's not that it caught me off guard because I knew Rhett acts like that, but just reading it I was like, anyways, I'm gonna get back to reading. So I thought I'd pop on and say that because we are escalating very quickly.
Why are you smiling at your phone?
My phone is my Kindle! I want my Kindle.
Get back to reading.
So I finished Flawless. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I basically binged the last 20 or 30% of it. I enjoyed every moment of this book. I really like this, my first cowboy romance. I love the whole vibe of this book. I love the small town. I love the cowboy. I love Summer. I love Rhett. I love Rhett's family. Just everything about it I love so much. I will say that I didn't get the same giddy feeling that I get when I read romance books. And I don't know if it was just because it's the first cowboy romance that I've read or what, or maybe her writing, but I didn't feel like I connected fully with the characters and their relationship, and I was trying to wrap my head around this, and that's why I kind of put off doing a little review for this, because I didn't know what it was that made me not feel giddy about it. Well, and I feel like the book was fast, and we kind of brushed over certain things that happened in the book very quickly, and I think it was just like it wasn't at a deep enough level for me to be attached to the characters like I could be in the moment while reading it, but then after I was just like, oh. If you know what happened at the ending between Summer and her sister in the hospital. Those are just like the hints I'll give, if you know what I'm talking about. I feel like the situation happened so fast and then we just brushed over it and moved on. We had our little moment and then we resolved it very quickly. And then after I finished the book, I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, wait, we never talked about what happened fully. And I don't know if they're gonna mention it in other books or what, because I read the epilogues and nothing was really mentioned about it. It kind of hinted to what the outcome was, but not fully, and I wish we dived deeper into everything. And I know there's some parts, because Summer and Rhett, they both understood each other and saw each other in ways that their families didn't, and I think that part was always emphasized in the book while reading it, between the two characters and their internal thoughts. But I just feel like it was so physical and not enough emotional. That made me giddy. But I would say it's a great book. I would recommend it. I'm excited to continue the series eventually. I already love the other brothers. I just love everyone that was mentioned in this book. After reading this, I kind of felt slumped out, if I'm being so honest with you. I think it's because I wanted to read the next books, and I just, in my head, I already had some ideas planned for this video of what I wanted to read next, because it was on the Kindle. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and then Twisted Games by Anna Wong. These are all romance, obviously, but I just didn't know what I was in the mood for, especially post. I felt like I was stuck in my thoughts about Flawless, and that feeling, I was like, what? You know, I just wanted to keep reading into that world. I don't know, I thought about it, and initially I was gonna start Twisted Games, like I put my bookmark in it, and then I asked my friend Jade, between the two, I read her each the description, and she said I should read The Unhoneymooners. And let me tell you, it's right here. It was the best decision I think I could have done. I've already started it. I got to chapter 5 last night, and I read a little bit here and there today, but I'm loving it. I don't know what it is about these type of books. There's something about them that the whole story just makes me excited, and I think it's because it, not like it follows a formula, but I know what I can expect, and I can read it. I don't think I could read these characters as well as I can these, if that makes sense. I don't know how to like verbalize these feelings, and it's so frustrating me right now. But anyways, I started this book and I am so far loving it. I love the characters. I'll give a quick little brief description of what this book is about from what I've read so far. Olive Torres is a twin. Her sister Amy is getting married. The groom's brother is the best man. His name's Ethan. Olive's enemy or nemesis, something's happened where she just feels he doesn't like her and she doesn't like him, so that's just kind of how they go about interacting, and they have this little banter throughout the book. It opens up with them at Amy's wedding and getting prepared. Olive is allergic to seafood, so she eats chicken, and it's like a seafood buffet, and Ethan, I guess, doesn't like eating buffets, so he also ate the chicken. And during Olive's speech, everyone just starts getting sick, so Ethan and Olive are the only two that aren't sick from the whole wedding. Olive and Ethan take up the opportunity to go on the vacation where basically they have to act like they are the married couple, and that's where I'm at so far. The honeymoon is in, not a vacation, sorry, it's a honeymoon. They're going on a honeymoon. The honeymoon takes place in Maui, and I love that idea of the story because I'm also in Hawaii. Currently loving this book. I love Ethan. I feel like I already know how the story's gonna end, obviously, because it's such an obvious thing, and I just eat it up. I love it every time. Ethan, I can read through this man so easily. I'm just highlighting everything. They have great banter. So far, this book is so funny. The amount of times that I have laughed in this book. So that is my update for you guys so far. I will update you guys the next time, probably when I get to 50%. Is so funny. There's a part, so they're on a boat right now, and their scuba instructor, the snuba instructor Nick, a sun-streaked blonde guy with over-tanned skin and bright white teeth, who calls himself an island boy, but I'm fairly sure was born in Idaho or Missouri. And I was like, shout out to Idaho, because if you don't know, I'm from Idaho. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. 12:18, and I have to get up at 5 tomorrow. I just finished chapter 9. I am now on chapter 10, page 196, 47% through. I am loving this book so much. Christina Lauren's writing, so good. I love the romance, I love the banter, I love everything about it. And you just know, like, in the words that Ethan says, there are little hints. It's just so good, and I love this book so much. So far, there's just little things that have happened that have made them fake that they're married and keep continuing that act throughout the whole honeymoon, and it's just so fun. I am eating it up. Ethan is so witty and the banter between the two is so good. I think I'm definitely gonna have to go back through and underline and tab in the physical book. Hopefully I can finish it maybe tomorrow or the next day or so, but I never want it to end. I love this. I feel like I can see where it's gonna go. I'm just waiting for it to get to that point, but there's just little hints where you can see the relationship building, and I love that. It's like the perfect enemies to lovers slow burn, and the setting's fun. Everything about it's so fun right now. I just want to say that I saw, okay, if you've seen Twisters, the new tornado movie, I don't know what the actor's name is. Let me actually figure that out. I'm just gonna put the name right here. This man, specifically in Twisters, when he first meets Daisy Edgar Jones' character and he's like chewing the gum, that is who I picture for Ethan. Him specifically with that vibe and attitude when he was chewing the gum is like what Ethan gives in the beginning initially when he's trying to be cold to Olive. So I thought I'd just share that. But usually I just like have something already in my head. But I saw an edit today on TikTok and I was like, that's Ethan. And I had to share it with someone. Hi guys, I wanted to check in. I'm currently on page 259, 62% in. I'm on chapter 13 right now of the book. So far I'm loving it. I'm absolutely eating this book up. I know I talked about it last night and I read for about an hour or so just today. I'm probably gonna read more tonight, but I just want to check in because I got past 50% and we've hit some bumps in the road. We've had some minor issues. I am just really curious how it's gonna wrap up because I'm 60% in and we still have 40% of the book to go. I have a feeling of how it's gonna go and I have some ideas brewing in the brain right now. It says I have about 3 hours left in the book, so I'm probably gonna read for about an hour or two later tonight and I'll probably finish the book tomorrow and then I'll give you guys a little wrap up of it. But I'm loving this book. There are some things that have happened that made me look at the characters a little different, but then it was resolved very quickly and I was like, okay, you're forgiven. Definitely loving this book. It's definitely higher than like a 3 or a 3.75. It's probably in the 4 range. I wouldn't say it's a 5. Depends how the book wraps up, but we'll see. I don't know. And I peeked at Goodreads ratings and so many people are bashing this book and it makes me so sad because I love this book. The things this man says, their banter is so good and Ethan's such like, he's so cute. That's all I had to say because I love the banter. I love their interactions. I love Ethan. I love him as a character. He's so good. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, this is not really book related at all. Well, okay, wait. It is book related, but it's not related to the books I'm currently reading in this video. But my friend just sent me a TikTok of them announcing who is going to play Poppy and Alec in Netflix's making of People We Meet on Vacation. And honestly, if you don't know, People We Meet on Vacation is probably one of my favorite books from Emily Henry. I also love Alex as a character. He is one of my favorite bookmen ever. Like, I love that man in that book. So they casted Tom Blythe, this man, and Jane Blader, I think is how you say her last name, as Poppy and Alex. I just had to come on and tell someone that would maybe understand or relate to this. I am so excited. I don't know where this book ranks for a lot of people, but this is honestly my top because I don't really remember Beach Read. I know everyone says I love Beach Read, but like for me, I just vividly remember People We Meet on Vacation, and Tom Blythe is so good for Alex. Anyways, back to the book that we're currently reading, which is The Unhoneymooners. Hi guys, I wanted to come on here and talk about The Unhoneymooners. Oh my gosh, why isn't this focusing? I finished this book a day ago, and I had such a hard time figuring out my thoughts and my rating for this book. I just rated it last night. I gave it 3.75 stars, maybe a 4. Honestly, this book could have been such a good book and a 5-star for me. I was enjoying the book so much in the beginning and I love the banter. I love the dynamic between the two characters, between Olive and Ethan. And then there was just some point in the story, it just dipped off and it's like the bubble that I was in broke. And it just, something about it went flat for me. I don't know, it was really upsetting because I was loving the book so much and then it just stopped. And I was so confused about it, my feelings on it. This is a good book, but it wouldn't be my like top favorite. I would recommend this book. I think it's a fun, lighthearted romance. Maybe I was just like, I had a different idea of how the story should have gone, and that's why I didn't like it or agree with the ending. But it did wrap up cute. It just, the flow of the story kind of bugged me, and I don't know. I just think there are some parts that could have been done differently, and there's ways that it could have been done that I've seen other authors do. I know it's very vague, but that's just like the best I could say about this. So overall, I really did enjoy this book, and the story was cute. I love the characters. I like Ethan, of course. Being in the scene of them taking the honeymoon in Maui was really fun, and just the island vibes during the summer. It's just the perfect time to read this book. We're closing out summer. I'm on an island. It was kind of a perfect storm. It was just the ending that really didn't do it for me. So the next and final book that I will be reading for this video is Twisted Games by Anna Wong. This book's kind of a random pick, kind of also mood reading. I've been wanting to get to this one for a while now, and I just haven't had the urge to pick it up, so I figured trying it out on my Kindle might allow me to read it faster. It's also like a pretty heavy book. This is the second book in the Twisted series. You don't really have to read the first book to read this one, but they're all kind of interconnected, and if you read them in order, you see characters from previous books in these books. So it does follow a friend group of girls, and they're all different. They have all their own things. Just from reading the back of this, basically this book follows Bridget and her bodyguard Reese. Reese is more of like the grumpy, stoic, broody man, but he's very strict on his rules, ensures that he doesn't break them or crosses any lines or boundaries with his clients. But there's just some connection between him and Bridget that makes them both willing to break those rules. Bridget's also been put into a situation where she doesn't really want to be royalty. She wants freedom, and that's all she seeks. And her brother steps down because he falls in love with someone that's not royal blood, so she's now next up to become queen. It just kind of puts them in a situation where they can't be together, but they want to be together. So there's that desire and that push and pull. I'd call this more of like a forbidden love. I've seen many good things about this. I've heard this is like the best book of the series, or one of the better books, because the first one I did not enjoy. If you guys don't know, I read that last year, Twisted Love, and I did not enjoy the book at all. One thing about Anna Wong's writing is that it's kind of cheesy, and I did start this yesterday, and I really just read the book all day yesterday. Also, the cover kills me. It's so dramatic. I'm 58% in, page 257. I got to chapter 29 just now, so I'm like this far into the book, like past halfway. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's one of those books where I feel in the beginning it was a little cheesy, and just, not that the writing's bad, but it's kind of, I would say, Wattpad-y maybe, and I just couldn't take things seriously, and there were some parts that were like serious, and I was highlighting going like LOL. Like some things are just so far-fetched and out of pocket, and I'm just like, I can't really believe that. And that's why I didn't really like Twisted Love, because it was like she was trying to put 20 different tropes into one book and to make one guy seem like this like big bad dude, and it was just kind of cringy. The further I get into this book, and it's divided into parts, so part one was like where it was a little cringy, and now part two is where she's actually in the process of transitioning into becoming queen. It's actually getting really good. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it. It's more just a lighthearted forbidden romance that you just can't really take too seriously, and you're just here for the vibes really, and it's giving vibes for sure. There's still like little hints of emotional connections, but of course it's still there's still that physical attraction that really sparked all of this in the first place, but you could still see between the two of them, between Reese and Bridget, that they can see each other beyond the facades that they're showing the world, which I guess is a nice part of the story. Yeah, so far we're just at the part where he's been her bodyguard for a while now. They've had their little banter. Now she's transitioning into becoming the queen, and they're navigating these feelings, the forbidden feelings, basically, that she can't really be with him, but they want to be with each other. So that's where we're at right now. So I will update you guys maybe further in. I really want to read as much as I can tonight, and then probably finish it tomorrow, maybe. It just depends. I mean, it's such a quick read. You can get through these books so fast. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna allow it to happen, because they're gonna end up together, but because she's becoming royalty and he's not really anything of status or royal status, how that's all gonna go down. So I'm really curious about that. So I will keep you guys updated, but I'm not hating it. The beginning was a little cheesy, but it's picking up right now. It's getting really good. And I will check in either when I'm done with the book or if I have any other thoughts. I just finished Twisted Games by Anna Wong, and don't judge me. I rated this 4 stars. When I was doing this, I was like, oh yeah, 4 stars. I love this book. I have such a, it's solely off vibes. But then I remembered I rated The Unhoneymooners 3.75 and it just felt so wrong to me. But I'm gonna keep my rating. So I am giving this 4 stars. The vibes were there and I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. I hated the first book. I thought everything was so far out of left field and just random, and she was just throwing trope after trope and whatever into it. And the ending was just so unrealistic in that sense. And it was just so far from like even being like, no, this is make-believe, this isn't real. But this one, yes, the beginning was a little cringy, like I said. It's divided into 3 parts, I believe, either 1 or 2 parts. But after the first part of the book, it kind of ate. It gave what it was intended to, and I truly believe that these books, I say this in like the most respectful ways, like these are just about vibes. They're not about how well the plot or how well it's written or any of that. Like you can base that knowledge on many books, but I feel like with these, you just have to go into it as this is a palate cleanser. This is something I'm just here to enjoy. I'm here for the vibes solely. The ending was actually really cute and it made sense and it went in a way that wasn't super unrealistic. So that's why I gave it 4 stars, because I immediately after my Spanish class today, instead of doing my homework, which I should be doing, I went and read this and finished it on my Kindle. Overall, love this book. Probably one of my favorites. I've only read the first 2 of the Twisted series and I really want to read the next 2. I might just use those as like palette cleansers, ones that I don't really need to use a lot of brain power, but when I'm just in the mood for a book like this. Let me get my books real quick. So for a little wrap up of the books that I read in this video, a week reading on my Kindle, I started the week with, also it was a little longer than a week, but we're just gonna call it a week. I started with Flawless by Elsie Silver, Cowboy Romance. I was in the mood to read this after watching Twisters with Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones. I do have high hopes for the next ones. I didn't love this one completely, but also right book, wrong timing. I don't know, but I like this book. I did appreciate this book. I gave this, I believe, 4 stars. And then the second book we read was Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This book could have been a 5-star for me. It started off so high and so good, but the ending just, it did not give what I thought it would. So I ended up giving this 3.75 stars. And then the final book that I just finished reading was Twisted Games by Anna Wong. I gave this 4 stars. Felt it was very consistent throughout the whole book. The beginning was a little cringy, but the ending wrapped up very nicely in a way that wasn't super crazy. So those were the 3 books that I read in a week of reading on my Kindle. I checked 3 books off my TBR in a short period of time. It's probably the fastest I've really ever read 3 books. My thoughts on my Kindle, I love it. This is probably the best thing I could have ever purchased. I'm so excited to use this during season when we're on the road for a week and I don't have to lug around heavy books in my bag. I'm definitely gonna get through my TBR much quicker. I have fun videos planned involving this and involving the books on my TBR. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books that I read in this video. Let me know if there's any books that you'd like to see me read, any books that you'd like to see me specifically read off my TBR. I will be posting a TBR video very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this. I had so much fun reading. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.